day 68 and I just finished work, finished my meal prepping for the day. It's pretty late now. So, I have been consistent with my diet for the last week, and since I've talked to you guys last, I feel like I've gained more weight. I feel like my stomach or my waist is stretching to the sides. And this is confessionals. Originally, I really wanted to give you guys a very objective stance on this experience, but based on where we are now, it's completely subjective. Everyone's gonna have a different experience, coming from different places. Whether you come from nutrition, or you come from an ethical standpoint, you can come from an environmental standpoint. You're gonna have a different experience for this vegan lifestyle. I see that being vegan isn't going to be perfect. It's not gonna be this thing where you say that you're vegan, you cut all the meat and you cut all the animal products from what you do, and there you go, that's it. On your vegan journey, you're gonna realize that you can't be perfect. You cannot be perfect. You can focus on specific things, but you can't do it all. You really can't. It's almost like an awareness. Once you have it on, you start realizing other things, like how we recycle and how we use so many things, so many throwaway products.
Which doesn't just affect the environment, but animals as well.
I am dealing in the last month with really understanding the contradictions of my vegan lifestyle. If we bring up sentient beings are creatures, are living things that have feelings, emotions, sensations, thoughts. Sentient. We're sentient, animals are sentient. And in fact, insects are also sentient. But where does this ethical debate end? Many vegans will say that insects are just as important as animals. And I will agree with that to a certain extent.
But see, this is where the contradiction arises.
If a cockroach came into the home, I would kill it. And it's sad to think about it that way. But you can't save every insect, because sometimes they are the aggravator. They are the intruder.
I believe insects are sentient creatures, but to start advocating for them in the same respect we do for animals would be disingenuous, to say the least, because in most of the world we see the more common bugs as pests. Veganism wouldn't be a legitimate option for nearly anyone if we all started advocating for insects too. Maybe it's something for me to consider into the future as I progress, but I have been throwing around this idea lately that veganism is more like an ideal to follow, to act more consciously and not a list of rules that we must follow blindly. I find it helpful to understand the contradictions we face as vegans, to further understand where our individual views lie on that topic. Like Republicans and Democrats, most of the time you'll find people on the fence about many issues. So I find it's helpful to think for myself.
If you're doing it for the right reasons, shouldn't give up. You should never give up on your experience. If you think you're doing the right things, if you're doing it for the right reasons, then there's no reason why you should give up.